He gave me a book, and it was little figures, caricatures, and it's a caricature, and it say, hombre man. So Father Muskie said to me, Dick, he says 3 words when you see Josemaria. Padre, estoy contento. That's the only words I knew in Spanish. So I met him in the garden. I arrived on Saturday night, and I met him in the garden there with Don Alfaro. And I said to him, Padre, estoy contento. And he laughed. He put his arms around, give me a big hug. And here was in a powder blue suit out of Chicago, Baskins, and everything is so solemn. And we hit it off right away. We spent a lot of time together. He's a great man. I met Pope John Paul II. And if you met Pope John Paul II, that they had the same, well, charismas, if you want to call it. We all have charismas in the sense we all have personalities. But he radiated 2 things, caring, loving, and laughter. And that's what Josemaria had. When we were with him in get-togethers, for instance, after lunch or something like that, we get too serious, he'd be preoccupied. He said, come on, we had a piano. They said, yeah, you can play the piano a little bit. He didn't want us. This was his faith. God was running things. He knew that in this world of ours. And so if we took things too seriously, he'd say, no, come on, God's in charge. And we'd laugh together. He was always preoccupied about our laughter and our physical well-being. We were 80 of us there when we came from all over the world. And he'd notice a guy right away. He said, you're not sleeping, aren't you? Well, no. He said, tell the director, you got to get some sleep. And he was always preoccupied about our food, the things that the Americans would like. But talk about these days, diet, he was always careful in guiding to see that we ate right and we slept right. And just, in the simple way, we wasn't a boss like that, but he was so cheerful. That's the thing. He just radiated his joy, not in a superficial way, but when you're with Pope John Paul II, he had been shot and everything else, but there was something of joy. And I think our Lord was like that. A Christian, we're all God's children. I think that's the most wonderful thing, the attractive thing of Josemaria, outside of his love for Our Lady and his human love. But I think that's the most attractive thing. Chesterton said at one time, and I quoted time, and I don't have a good memory, but then he always used to say, joy is a gigantic secret of the Christian. And that's what attracts people. That really does it. Your mother would worry about you. As soon as you were sad, she'd say, what's wrong? In other words, there's something in each one of us that wants you got to be happy. Because, our Lord said, my joy may be in you, your joy may be full. I think that was the key to good. Josemaria wants to be happy. That's the mother. We used to kid. One time we were in a get-together with him, Don Alvaro there with his right hand, and he was talking. We said, well, I'm like a father to you. And then Don Alvaro said, you're like an aunt and a grandmother and an uncle. He said, you're everything to us. He said, calla. He'd say, Alvaro, calla. He was good. He's a funny guy. He loved this country.